Hello, guys. I'm Janti, and I would like to point out that nowadays most modern jiu-jitsu fighters today like to pull guard and sit on the floor, fight from the bottom. But for me, I cannot do that. Before I even knew what wrestling was as an official sport, I was already completely in love with takedowns, specifically the double leg. If I'm stepping onto the mat, my goal is to change levels, blast through your hips, and put you flat on your back. And this Friday, I'm putting that style to the test. I'm competing at the AJP tournament here in Jordan. It's my fourth Jiu Jitsu tournament ever, but it's my very first time competing at my new rank, Grey Belt. Alright, so the tournament is next Friday, which is May 22nd. I'm recording this right after Saturday training, which means we are officially 1 week out. The game plan from here is short. Monday is my absolute final training session, and the coach said that most of Monday will be mainly sparring and fighting. After that, Wednesday's practice is completely called off by the coach, so we can focus entirely on weigh ins and cutting weight. So I just finished my second last training, and today we mainly focused on rules and fighting. So when the training first began, we did not start a warm up instantly. We started going through the rule set of AJP, Abu Dhabi Jiu Jitsu Pro, and then the coach let us do our own warm up. So everyone does their own, warm up. I did basic warm up, to be honest. I did 100 jumping jacks, and then I did a couple of push-ups, a couple of sprawls, a couple of double legs, front roll, back roll, and then neck exercises, and also stretching my my hamstring, doing stretching. So yeah, and then we got straight onto it. The coach started picking us which person to go with a fight, and everyone started fighting. And then at the very end of the class, we we went through the rule set one more last time, and we did a bunch of scenarios where we have to guess the points. So overall, today was pretty good, I would say. I'm right now gonna head to Nadi Al Ahli and then head back home so I can eat, take a shower, and then probably sleep. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna be checking the brackets, and it seems like my teammate Mutaz is in the division, and so are the Ladnani brothers, Bahr and Tariq. Mutaz and I train together at the same gym, Prospects Jiu Jitsu, but it seems like everyone is for themselves on the mats. Inshallah, I take first place. Okay, so today is Thursday, and I just finished my last normal day at school. And also, since it's Thursday today, it's weigh-ins for the AJP tournament. So I'm gonna eat something pretty light, and then I'm gonna head to weigh myself. So yeah, I hope I get my weight, inshallah. My goal is to be under 56, or 56 to be exact, kilograms. Alright, so I'm on my way to the weigh-ins, which is at the Jordanian Jiu-Jitsu Federation, and as you can see here by the clip of the car ride, so yeah. And here I arrive at the place, as you can see here, like on the top, you can see the, drawings.
اه
Alright, so I went through the weigh-ins, and everything went perfect, alhamdulillah. I got my weight, as you could see here. But also, another thing occurred. A new opponent occurred, which was Salim Maroon, as you can see here. And also, another thing is that Adnani brothers, one of them, have left my division. So Tariq Al Adnani went to the higher weight class. Now I'm up against Salim Maroon. And then from there, I'll go to finals and then fight whoever wins between Bahr Al Adnani and Mutaz Abzakh. So yeah, but I did go through the weigh-ins. Everything went perfectly, alhamdulillah. After weigh-ins, I went to the experts, which are professionals in physiotherapy, and I go to them a lot, to be honest, for any type of injury. They're really, really, really good, to be honest, and I recommend you guys to go and check it out for yourself. The link to their location will be in the description, and they're professionals. Now you may ask, why did I go there? Because I got a foot injury recently. Well, actually, not this Tuesday, but the one before that. I was in a small chaotic event, and then that resulted to my foot becoming really, really swollen. As you could, well, I don't have a photo of my foot being really swollen, but I have a photo of me being in experts, as you could see here. That was my first ever time going to experts for my foot injury. But the one after weigh-ins was my fourth time, and I checked, and I mean it's way better, alhamdulillah. And inshallah, I can play in the tournament normally, inshallah. Now, what I'm gonna do now is prepare my bag, and then probably take a shower and eat, and then sleep, and that's what I'll call a Thursday. Assalamu alaikum. I'm here with my teammate Mutaz Abzakh. What belt are you?
Grey belt.
Okay, me and him are in the same division. Me and him are not gonna play in the first round. However, if he wins and goes to the final, and me too, then we will play against each other. Which inshallah we don't play against each other. Now, what's your favorite move to do?
Guard.
And what type of submission are you aiming to do against Salim Marroon?
Triangle.
Inshallah. Alright, so here I was feeling a bit nervous for the fight, but not really that much. We run in. We think we're about to fight each other right now, but then we realize that we should be like on the other way around. You know? So then the fight starts, and he tries to pull guard. However, I pass it and then go for north-south. Then he tries going for double leg. I pull guard, and then I try going for the X choke, but then I give up on that idea completely. So then I try to wedge my hand in because he's holding his own self because he realizes that I'm trying to go for the Kimura. However, I continue moving my whole body there, and then I have the hold, and then I'm trying to, break his grip, and the moment I do so, he taps instantly, as you can see, and that was a pretty easy fight.
Inshallah, goal.
Alright, so I walk into the mat already confident, knowing which side to be already. We shake hands with the ref, and then the fight starts. So I, handshake him, and then I go for the double leg, but it does not really work out because somehow he puts me in his guard. So the moment he does so, I try my best to get up and break his guard by wedging my elbows in while standing up. But while doing so, that gave him the chance to take my collars and do an X choke. To counter that, I put my chin in
to not let him choke me. And as you could see, the ref is checking out if I'm actually getting choked or not. However, I'm trying to still pass the guard because his guard is really good. And it just stays like this for a good minute. And I put a thumbs up to make sure that the ref that I'm okay. I'm assuring the ref that I'm alright. And then I pass his guard and I go almost side mount. And now I've reached to side mount. I try going for full mount again, but he wedges his foot somehow in, and he keeps on putting me in his guard. However, I keep on somehow passing it. While passing it, he puts his foot on my hip, but here I pass it again. And I do not get any points because he is currently choking me, which is in a submission, which is a current attempt to a submission, so no points are being recorded here. So I try putting his foot down, and then I put my knee down so he could not put his foot on my hip, and then I push him and go to the other side. Reverse psychology. So now I stay on top of him, and I stay on top of him, and I try to stall for a bit while trying to get my breath, because he has choked me pretty well. So I stay on top of him, putting my weight so he cannot flip me over, until I'm gonna try to go for the full mount, which you could see here in a second. So now I'm trying to get rid of his choke, and while doing so I managed to get to full mount, and he keeps on trying to escape by jumping, and I couldn't go for the armbar, so I pull guard, and then I try going for the Kimura, but it just ends up as a sweep. And he keeps on jumping up and down, and the fight ends. And I have won the fight by points. 6-1. I have the 6 points, he has 1 point.
So guys, I just won gold, alhamdulillah, in my AJP tournament competing as grey belt. To be honest, during the fight, I did not feel nervous at all. I took it as like a normal sparring training, because I've already went through a bunch of tournaments already in my life. I mean, my every tournament I feel less and less nervous. But alhamdulillah, I got gold, to be honest. And I didn't really want to play against my teammate. And